Orgonite protects you against harmful electromagnetic frequencies by converting harmful EMF waves into healthy, healing energy. Think of it like a force field around you that converts electromagnetic chaos into waves that are compatible with an organic being like yourself. Our environment is millions of times more toxic than it used to be before the wireless revolution, due to cell towers, cell phones, Wi-Fi, microwaves, smart meters, and any wireless devices, including phones, video games, speakers, and all kinds of other shiny new tech. Orgonite uses scalar wave technology to mitigate and even knock chemtrails and other radiation out of the sky. Think of scalar waves as spiral waves that get more powerful as they rise, acting like a quantum electromagnet and pulling the toxic heavy metals and chemtrails up and out of our breathing atmosphere. The crystals are squeezed by the contraction of the resin, and like squeezing the orange juice out of an orange, the crystals emit stronger, more powerful scalar waves due to this constant contraction and pressure. Metals are crystals. Gold, silver, copper, platinum, and most other natural metals are raw crystals as well. So the argument that only metal works or only crystals work are moot points. They both work together, and wherever you have crystals in resin, you have orgonite. The metal is there to even out the field. Crystals are transceivers that have amazing capacities to store and transfer energy. That's why crystals are used not only in metaphysics, but almost all technology as well. In fact, the silicon revolution that spawned computers are based on the ability of silicon, which is a crystal, of course, to store information. You will also probably notice animals are immediately attracted to these devices because they know intuitively that the scalar waves are healing and revitalizing. Orgonite is also an excellent meditation tool as well. It helps block out distracting energy and promotes mental clarity and acuity. A pyramid that is about 5 inches all the way around will help clear the air of chemtrails for about a square mile. If you put 2 on the porch and 2 in the backyard, you're protecting your entire home, your neighbors, and even your neighborhood. I use 4 outside and smaller pieces inside on my computer desk, next to my bed, things like that. But usually they're the smaller, medium-sized ones. And I keep the pyramids outside doing the hard work of knocking down radiation. Having orgonite and not having it are like night and day. There were times where I had orders piling up and I would just send my own personal orgonite through the mail, knowing that I could make more the next day or two, but during that day or two, inevitably, they would dump geoengineering chemtrails above my house, and it was totally obvious that my shield of protection was gone. I could feel the difference immediately. The lungs, my body chemistry. When I had the pyramids, I wouldn't notice the heavy metals getting to me nearly as much or at all. So I don't do that anymore. I keep my personal devices intact, protecting my family and my neighbors at all times. Lesson learned. The short answer is basically having some outside and some inside. The orgonite that you place outside will help tremendously with the toxic skies that we have to deal with, unfortunately. Scalar waves can travel through walls and roofs, but it does impede the power a bit, so putting them outside maximizes their potential. You can also put them inside to protect against electromagnetic frequencies. So basically, outside helps with chemtrails and geoengineering, and placement inside protects you against electromagnetic frequencies that are harmful. Sometimes I advise putting them on your computer desk, especially if you insist on keeping your Wi-Fi. You might notice, if you're sensitive to these kind of things, that you have lucid, intense, full-color dreams that you will likely have as a result of keeping orgonite next to your bed or nightstand. Also, as an experiment, if it's possible, watch the chemtrails and document it before you have the orgonite and then after, and see the difference. Sometimes it's quite visible, the feathering, and you can see what looks like a corkscrew or upside-down tornado shape that the cloud, or actually the chemtrail, turns into, because that is the scalar wave, and the cloud is making the shape of that wave because it's usually invisible, but now it has this chemical to show the naked eye what's actually happening, so that takes the shape of the scalar wave. Here are some other tips about how to clear your home of energy and get rid of toxic EMF. Number 1, get rid of your cell phone completely and be drastic about it. If you can't do that, because of work or your kids, I understand. I got rid of mine for 2 years, but finally had to buy one because I was on the road and I needed it for business and so on. But I have learned to make airplane mode my friend. So get in the habit of using it to shut off the waves and energy that is constantly searching for a cell connection and impeding your thought patterns and clarity, and just put it on airplane mode. It's easy to access, especially on the new iPhones, and it clears that toxic EMF from your immediate space. Your alarm clock and time functions will still work, so you won't have to worry about waking up on time. You won't have to also bathe in radiation all night while you sleep. Number 2, if your cell phone has to be on, keep it at least 8 to 10 feet from you at all times if possible. Proximity and heat are the two most important factors when it comes to this form of radiation and it harming you. So every foot it's away from you is exponentially less harmful. Number 3, get rid of Wi-Fi altogether. It's like having a radio station in your home. This is not good for animals, adults, and especially kids. Young children have skulls and brains that are not fully formed and are far less protected than an adult human being. I can't stress this one enough. I highly recommend plugging your internet connection directly into the wall. It's faster, more secure, it's also a better connection, and it prevents the Wi-Fi waves from bathing you and your family all day, every day. I recommend getting rid of the newfangled gaming systems that have spying capabilities, number 1, and number 2, wireless controllers. It's especially troubling that this wireless revolution is targeting kids. Listen to Dr. Mercola or Dr. Devra Davis, as well as several ex-military experts turned whistleblowers like Dr. Barry Trower, regarding the truth behind Wi-Fi, cell phones, EMF dangers, and essentially eugenics. Let's put it this way. I don't find it a coincidence women that started to put their cell phones in their bra developed breast cancer exactly in the spot where they put their phones. This is happening on a regular basis now. It's not just one anecdote. Number 5, get rid of your microwave. Totally and completely. Don't give it away because it'll hurt somebody else's family. Throw it away or find a way to recycle it. They get old, they leak radiation, and they destroy and strip the nutrients from your food anyway. This is originally Nazi technology, believe it or not, that was banned by the Russians after World War II. Microwaves are not your friend. Number 6, get rid of, resist, and don't comply with smart meters or smart appliances. Anything labeled smart is anything but. I have measured smart meters with my EMF meter several times personally, and the pulses are off the charts when they spike because they are searching for towers sometimes hundreds of yards, if not miles away. This is blasting you and radiating you in your own home. How do utility companies justify requiring this harmful technology on homes you own, homes you've worked your entire lives to own? It's ridiculous. Number 7, familiarize yourself with the Project for a New American Century and what's called Agenda 21. Do a little research and read up on both if you don't already know about it, and you will be amazed and horrified at what is actually happening hidden in plain sight. Number 8, some of the worst perpetrators are actually old-school wireless phones. They are constantly pulsing to connect with the base of the phone. Basically anything that's wireless and doesn't have old-school wires to plug in, not good. Get rid of all that you possibly can and limit the usage of what you need to keep, like your cell phone or whatever. I believe you will notice a very big difference. We are electromagnetic beings. It's not some out there new age talk about space and time. No, this is science. You might simply need to get away from that cell tower a quarter of a mile from your bedroom. This is not science fiction, it's science fact. We are created to create. There are two kinds of people in this world, creators and destroyers. There are those that create the sandcastles, and there's always that bully that wants to come over and stomp on it and destroy it. Ironically, to achieve any kind of enlightenment, we must forget about all the bad people doing bad things and look at ourselves and travel through the darkness, through the dark night of the soul, in order to understand ourselves better and to understand how we can make a difference by actually focusing on the solutions, not just the problems. Oftentimes, it's the thing you're avoiding, the fear that you're avoiding, the very path that you know you must take, and it's the last thing you want to do. But if you persist, it's amazing on the other side. The sun is shining brightly. Much love and visualize peace. This is Jeff Bird with Radio Mysterium. If you would like handcrafted orgonite, go to radiomysterium.com.